Welcome to Happiness Hacks, 100% scientific, curiously effective. The guide to unlocking joy, one small, powerful habit at a time. Let's discover the science of happiness together. You're watching Beyond the Cover, where we turn every book into a journey of insight and inspiration. Happiness is not a destination far away. It's not something you chase endlessly hoping to catch it someday. It's here, it's now, and it can be unlocked with the smallest of choices. Science has shown us again and again that joy is not an accident. It's the result of intentional actions, tiny decisions, and powerful yet simple shifts in how we live our everyday moments. And the best part? You don't need to wait for a perfect life, a dream job, or a mountain of wealth to feel alive. You already carry the keys to happiness within you. You only need to learn how to use them. Think about it. Every day you wake up, you are given a chance to shape the way you feel. That first breath in the morning, that first step on the floor, the first thought that crosses your mind, it all sets the rhythm of your day. Do you realize how much power lies in those tiny beginnings? If you start with gratitude, your brain floods with positive chemicals. If you start with complaint, you invite stress and negativity before the day even begins. And science proves this. Gratitude, practiced daily, rewires the brain for joy. Just writing down 3 things you're thankful for can increase your overall happiness and satisfaction with life. Not for a day, but for weeks and months. Isn't that extraordinary? Something so small, so simple, can shift the course of your emotional state. Happiness hacks are not about faking joy. They're about activating the natural systems already within you that are designed to create well-being. Did you know that even a 10-minute walk outside can work like medicine for your mood? Just 10 minutes of moving your body, feeling the air, noticing the world around you. It's enough to release endorphins, lower stress, and make you feel lighter. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need a marathon. 10 minutes, and your mind begins to heal itself. And then there's the power of connection. Humans are wired to connect. Even the briefest moments of warmth with another person can transform how you feel. A smile from a stranger, a kind word to a friend. Even sending a thoughtful message can lift you higher than you realize. Research has shown that intimacy, the simple closeness between 2 people, can be more fulfilling and longer lasting in its effects than even the physical act of sex. That's how much our brains crave connection. And here's the secret. You don't have to wait for others to come to you. You can be the one who starts the chain reaction. Be the one who reaches out, who gives a smile, who speaks the kindness. Watch how quickly it circles back to you. Now consider the rhythm of your work and your rest. So many people push themselves endlessly, believing the longer they work, the more they'll achieve. But the truth is different. Studies show that the most productive people in the world don't work endlessly. They rest strategically. The golden number? 17 minutes. 17 minutes of true break after focused work recharges your brain like nothing else. Not endless scrolling, not zoning out, but a genuine pause to breathe, stretch, or step away. When you return, your focus sharpens, your creativity blossoms, and your productivity skyrockets. You become both more effective and more at peace. And then there's the surprising magic of temperature. Can you believe that happiness peaks at around 57 degrees Fahrenheit, about 14 degrees Celsius? It's not too hot, not too cold. It's a sweet spot where the body feels comfortable and the mind feels alert. Of course, we can't control the weather every day, but knowing this shows us how sensitive happiness is to our environment. Adjust your space. Make your surroundings work for you. Light a candle. Open a window. Find the textures, sounds, and spaces that make you feel alive. Because the environment you live in is not neutral. It shapes your emotions constantly. But perhaps the most fascinating hack of all is this. Happiness is multiplied when it's shared. The joy you feel is not yours alone. When you radiate it outward, it spreads like fire, lighting up everyone you touch. And here's where science agrees. People surrounded by happy individuals become happy themselves. Entire communities rise when joy is passed from person to person. That means you are not just responsible for your own well-being, but you're also a spark for those around you. Every smile, every laugh, every moment of lightness is a gift you give to others. And in giving it, you receive it even more deeply yourself. So start to see happiness differently. It's not luck. It's not a mystery. It's not reserved for some chosen few. It's a practice. It's a skill. It's a daily set of choices that build into a life that feels rich, vibrant, and full. The hacks may be simple, but the effect is profound. You hold the power to transform not just your mood, not just your day, but your entire life. Happiness is built moment by moment, and often it hides in the places we overlook. Think about the simple act of smiling, not the smile that comes when something makes you laugh, but the one you choose to create. Science has discovered that when you smile, even if you don't feel like it, your brain responds as if you were truly happy. The muscles in your face send signals that release endorphins and serotonin, chemicals that lift your mood almost instantly. Imagine that. Something so small, something so effortless, and yet so powerful. You don't have to wait for a reason to smile. You can decide right now and watch how your body and mind follow. And then there's the magic of music. Music reaches into parts of the brain that words alone cannot touch. A single song has the power to shift your energy, to lift your spirit, to carry you back to a memory filled with light. Neuroscience shows that upbeat music stimulates dopamine, the same chemical that gives us feelings of pleasure and motivation. So when your energy dips, don't just sit in silence. Play the song that makes your heart race, the one that reminds you of who you are, and let it fill the room. You will feel yourself rising, your outlook transforming, and suddenly what seemed heavy will feel a little lighter. Movement, too, is a universal key. We live so much of our lives trapped in stillness, sitting in chairs, staring at screens, and carrying tension in our shoulders. But the body was designed to move. A short burst of exercise, a dance in your room, a few minutes of stretching. It wakes up the nervous system and sends oxygen rushing through your blood, and the brain responds with joy. 10 minutes of exercise has been shown to increase happiness levels for hours afterward. Not perfection, not punishment, not pressure, just joyful movement. Your body is not against you. It is your most powerful ally in creating joy. Another secret lies in the way we use our time. Our days are filled with endless demands, messages, and distractions, and yet the people who report being the happiest are those who invest their time in experiences, not just possessions. Buying things may give a spark of joy that fades quickly, but experiences, like learning something new, traveling to a new place, or even sharing a simple meal with loved ones, etch themselves into memory and expand your sense of meaning. Invest your energy not in chasing what you can hold, but in living moments that will hold you forever. And don't underestimate the power of rest. True rest is not laziness. It is fuel for happiness. Sleep deprivation has been proven to magnify stress, amplify negative emotions, and weaken resilience. But when you honor your body with rest, the brain clears out toxins, resets itself, and recharges your emotional balance. Think of happiness as a fire. It burns brighter when you feed it, and one of the most essential fuels is quality rest. You cannot feel joy if you are constantly running on empty. Respect your limits, and give yourself permission to pause. There's also something incredibly powerful about doing good for others. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, create a surge of happiness that can last longer than pleasure from anything we do for ourselves. Psychology calls it the helper's high. When you give, your brain releases oxytocin, a chemical that not only boosts joy but also reduces stress and deepens your sense of connection with others. The beauty is that kindness does not require money or grand gestures. A sincere compliment, holding the door, listening without judgment, offering encouragement. These simple actions create ripples of happiness far beyond what you can see. And let's not forget the role of presence. We spend so much of our lives pulled into the past or racing ahead into the future that we miss the extraordinary beauty of the present. Mindfulness is not just a practice. It is a pathway to joy. When you slow down to notice the taste of your food, the sound of the wind, the feeling of your breath, you are grounding yourself in the only place happiness truly exists, here and now. Research shows that people who practice mindfulness regularly experience less stress, greater focus, and a deeper sense of contentment. It costs nothing. It requires no equipment. It simply asks you pay attention to the life you already have. The truth is, happiness does not demand perfection. You do not need a flawless body, a perfect bank account, or a life free of challenges. What you need is awareness and the willingness to apply these small, science-backed shifts. Over time, they accumulate, they build upon one another, and they create a foundation so strong that no storm can shake it. One of the most overlooked pathways to happiness is curiosity. When you allow yourself to learn, to explore, to dive into something new, you awaken a part of the brain that thrives on discovery. Curiosity sparks dopamine, the very same chemical that makes us feel alive, motivated, and rewarded. Think of the last time you learned something that fascinated you, even something small. Remember the spark it gave you, the way time seemed to vanish as you immerse yourself. That is happiness in its purest form, growth, expansion, the joy of realizing you are capable of more than you thought. Another science-backed secret is nature. Being outside, even briefly, resets the nervous system. Just 20 minutes surrounded by trees or near water or under open sky lowers cortisol levels, reduces anxiety, and increases well-being. Your body was designed to synchronize with nature's rhythm. The sunlight calibrates your internal clock. The fresh air refreshes your lungs. The greenery calms your mind. Yet too often, we can find ourselves indoors, away from the very environment that heals us. Step outside, feel the ground beneath your feet, look up at the sky, and remember, you belong to something bigger. That reminder alone can fill your soul with peace. There's a profound joy that comes from anticipation as well. Research has shown that sometimes the happiest part in an experience is not the event itself, but the anticipation leading up to it. Planning a trip, looking forward to a gathering, counting down to something exciting, all of it builds happiness before the event even arrives. You don't need constant big adventures to feel joy. Even small plans, like treating yourself to your favorite meal or reading a book you've been waiting to open, can fill you with uplifting energy. Happiness grows in the waiting just as much as in the happening. Let's talk about laughter. Laughter is one of the most natural happiness hacks we have. It reduces stress hormones, boosts immunity, and strengthens relationships. A good laugh with friends or even by yourself, watching something funny, can shift your entire day. And the beauty is, laughter doesn't just happen to us. It's something we can invite. Seek out humor. Surround yourself with people who know how to laugh. Choose to see the lightness in life, even when things are heavy. Because laughter isn't only a reaction, it's medicine, and it heals you every time you allow it to flow through you. Another surprising insight is how powerful our environment of sound can be. White noise, the sound of rain, gentle waves, or even silence in a noisy world. These can influence mood more than we realize. Sound is vibration, and vibration affects our body and mind. That's why music moves us, why silence can calm us, why noise can overwhelm us. Create a sound environment that supports your happiness. Play music that uplifts you. Choose quiet moments to recharge. Surround yourself with the tones and rhythms that remind you of peace. And remember the influence of touch. A simple hug, a hand on your shoulder, or even wrapping yourself in a warm blanket can create a surge of oxytocin. Touch tells your nervous system that you are safe, that you are connected, that you are cared for. Studies show that people who receive affectionate touch regularly experience lower levels of stress and higher levels of happiness. Never underestimate the power of something as human as touch. It is one of the most direct ways to feed the soul. But perhaps one of the greatest scientific truths about happiness is that it thrives on meaning. Pleasure is sweet, but meaning is deep. When you align your actions with your values, when you live in a way that feels purposeful, you create a well of happiness that does not dry up. It doesn't mean you need to change the world in a grand way. It means you bring meaning to the moments you live. Do work that feels valuable. Give energy to what matters to you. Show up with integrity. The human spirit is wired not just for survival, but for significance. And when you live with meaning, happiness follows like a shadow, steady and faithful. The beauty of these hacks is that they remind us happiness is not a single thing. It's not found in a bottle, or in a bank account, or in someone else's approval. It is built through countless small actions that accumulate into something extraordinary. Each hack is a key, and the more you use them, the more doors you open. Before long, your life becomes filled with light, not because it is perfect but because you have chosen to make it so. Happiness grows when we learn to focus on what we can control rather than what we cannot. Life will always present challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty, but your response to these moments is entirely within your power. You cannot always choose the circumstances, but you can choose your perspective, your attitude, and the actions you take. And here's a liberating truth. When you focus on what you can change, you stop giving energy to what drains you, and you open space for growth, joy, and freedom. Journaling is another deceptively simple yet incredibly powerful happiness hack. Writing down your thoughts, your intentions, your reflections, even your frustrations, creates clarity and relief. The act of translating your mind onto paper reorganizes chaos into insight, stress into understanding, and fleeting emotion into lasting awareness. You begin to see patterns, to recognize what lifts you up, what pulls you down, and how small, deliberate changes can ripple through your life. Journaling is not just about writing. It is about creating a dialogue with yourself, one that fosters self-compassion, gratitude, and joy. And let's not forget the power of boundaries. One of the most common drains on happiness is overcommitting. Saying yes when you really mean no, or giving your energy to things that do not serve your well-being. Learning to set boundaries is not selfish. It is essential. Boundaries protect your energy, your focus, and your emotional state. They create space for you to nurture what truly matters, for you to spend time on what fills you, rather than what depletes you. Happiness grows when we honor our limits, and boundaries are the guardrails that allow us to thrive. Forgiveness is another extraordinary tool for inner peace. Holding on to resentment, grudges, or anger is like carrying a weight that keeps you anchored in pain. But forgiveness frees you. It is not about excusing behavior or pretending harm didn't occur. It is about releasing yourself from the chains of negativity. Research consistently shows that people who forgive feel lighter, more at ease, and happier. When you let go, you create space for joy to enter. It is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your own well-being. Then there is the astonishing influence of micro-habits. Tiny actions, repeated consistently, accumulate into monumental change. Drinking water when you wake up, stepping outside for sunlight, taking a brief moment to breathe deeply, complimenting someone sincerely. These are small sparks that light up your nervous system, train your brain, and produce tangible increases in happiness. You do not need huge transformations overnight. Start small, start now, and watch the compound effect unfold. And here's something many overlook. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our inner world. Self-talk is not just chatter. It is programming. Positive, encouraging, and compassionate self-talk rewires the brain to seek solutions, embrace challenges, and cultivate joy. Negative self-talk does the opposite. It increases stress, amplifies fear, and diminishes your capacity to feel fulfilled. Be mindful of the words you choose internally, for they shape not only your mood today, but your resilience tomorrow. Finally, one of the most profound insights of all is that happiness is an inside job. No circumstance, person, or object can make you truly happy. Happiness is the sum of the choices you make, the attention you give, and the habits you cultivate. It's in your movement, your breath, your gratitude, your curiosity, and your connection. It's in how you rest, how you forgive, how you give, and how you allow yourself to be fully present. It's not distant. It's not abstract. It is here, it is now, and it is waiting for you to claim it. Happiness is a practice, a daily, intentional, living practice. And each of these scientific hacks, these curious little tools, gives you the power to change not just your day, but your life. The world may be unpredictable, but your inner world can be steady, vibrant, and full of light. And when you cultivate this light, you carry it not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. As you begin to understand and apply these hacks, something remarkable happens. Life stops feeling like a series of random events and starts feeling like a canvas on which you can paint your own colors. Each small choice becomes a brushstroke. Each moment of gratitude, movement, connection, or curiosity adds depth and vibrancy. And suddenly, happiness is no longer elusive. It is alive, tangible, and entirely within your grasp. The beauty of happiness is that it is contagious. When you embody it, it spreads. The smile you offer, the kindness you show, the patience you extend, all ripple outward, touching lives you may never even realize. Science proves this too. Positive emotions are social magnets. They attract others, they build communities, and they create a cycle of joy that multiplies exponentially. By choosing happiness, by nurturing it, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the world around you. And the most empowering truth is this: it does not take perfection. It does not take a lifetime. You can start right now. Take one deep breath. Look around. Notice the light, the sound, the sensation of being alive. Smile, even if it feels small. Move, even if it is just a step. Connect, even if it is just a word. Be present, even for a moment. Every action, no matter how tiny, sends a signal to your brain, a signal to your body, a signal to the universe that you are ready to embrace joy. Happiness is not passive. It requires action, intention, and awareness. It asks that you honor your body, your mind, and your soul. It asks that you notice the extraordinary in the ordinary, that you seek out curiosity, that you rest, that you laugh, that you love, and that you forgive. It asks that you create meaning in your life, even in the smallest ways. And as you do these things, you will find that life responds. Doors you never expected open. Opportunities appear. Moments of beauty and connection multiply. The world, once heavy, becomes vibrant. Life, once ordinary, becomes extraordinary. Remember, happiness is not luck. It is not something to wait for, hope for, or chase endlessly. It is a skill, a practice, and a choice. You have everything you need already within you. Your mind, your body, your heart. They are perfectly designed to create joy. You just need to give them the chance. And when you do, the world will look different. You will feel different. You will become the person you were always meant to be. Fully alive, fully present, and fully joyful. So start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Smile, move, breathe, connect, rest, laugh, explore, learn, forgive, give, and notice the ripple effect. Notice how each small action multiplies into a life that is rich, vibrant, and deeply fulfilling. You are not waiting for happiness. You are creating it. With every thought, every choice, every moment, you're unlocking extraordinary potential within you. And in this very moment, if you take a deep breath and truly commit, you will realize something incredible. Happiness is not somewhere else. It is here. It is now. And it has always been within your reach. Claim it, live it, and let it shine through you, illuminating everything around you for the rest of your life. Thank you for listening. Remember, happiness is not a distant dream. It's a choice you can make every single day. Keep practicing these hacks and let joy guide your journey. Until next time, stay inspired.